Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday and welcome to Now That's Disney's Disney Night Live.
Hi.
What's happening? Hi.
Aloha.
It's good to be back.
Aloha. Aloha, everyone.
Skipper.
Skipper Jay is with us.
My internet died, so I'm on my phone.
No problem, no problem. He's freezing up, but it's okay. Hello. No worries at all. I want to welcome in everybody who's tuning in. We're good, man. How are you? Jay seems to be freezing, but I think everybody else is doing good. We got the Blank House. We got Disney.
We're doing good.
We got Tinker Kim, and of course we've got me with my new Mickey hat on, fresh back from the Walt Disney World. Hello, we're excited to be back. We took a 2-week hiatus so that we could take our trip to Walt Disney World, the Pachanos, and we're back, though. We came back this week. We arrived home on Saturday, so we're here to talk to you about a lot of different things. We want to talk to you about so many things, our friends that we met up with, our trip, and just catch up on stuff. It's been a while, so we missed everybody.
I just had a really scary thought. You know how I was telling you guys that I can't see? And like I have my new glasses on, and I don't know why. Like I washed them, and I still feel like things are blurry. And now I'm worried. Like did the eclipse glasses come from China? And like big hopes because I was looking at the eclipse, and like
I don't think so. I don't think that's where they came from. But
well, where did they come from then? All those
they came from Sunny Eclipse over at. They
didn't come from NASA, that's for sure.
Magic Kingdom they came from.
Now I'm worried about business.
So listen, we are live. We're live. Please share us out. We're all over social media. We want to let you know that. And you can watch us wherever: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, other places, Instagram Live. We're everywhere that you want us to be, and consume us any way you want. But we're happy to have you here with us. We really did miss everybody. I could tell you that much. But I took, going on vacation, I took 2 weeks off of show shares and the show and uploading podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So I also needed a break. It's a year-round devotion that we do here. So we all took a little bit of a break. But we're back again, have a lot of stuff to talk about. I think we could dive right into. Jay, are you frozen again? Nod your head if you're not frozen. Yeah, Jay is frozen again. Yeah, he's trying. It's all right, Jay. No worries. We love you. I think we should dive right into our friends over at DMagicWorld because we got a lot to talk about tonight. So let's talk about our sponsor, our full-time sponsor, our favorite 24/7 streaming Disney music magic station, DMagicWorld.com. You can check them out at DMagicWorld.com. You can request what you want to hear from the Parks music station. They also have a Disney movie music station. But again, you can be part of the magic by requesting what you want to hear. You can also click on the top of their homepage. The Now That's Disney tab takes you right to our Facebook group, Now That's Disney. And you can hear our shows in full length on Thursdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. But please check out DMagicWorld. Let them know that you heard about them from us, so they know that we're sending some love their way. So that's DMagicWorld. Jay, it's all right. Don't worry about it. We totally understand. Aaron was going to join us too, Animal Kingdom Aaron, but he's not feeling well. And Alan is not here, and he's busy. So let's try Jay one more time. Nope. Nope. Jay, you're just a black box at the moment, but you've never looked better, buddy. All right. Now, I want to talk about two things that we used on this trip, Kim and I with Colton, that we used. One of them was a brand new service. And let me bring this up here because I have their website page open. It's called Vacation Grocery Delivery. And I created a banner for them too with their website on it, which is Vacation Grocery Delivery FL for Florida.com. This was the first time we used them, and we've used other grocery delivery services to Walt Disney World resorts before, but the prices are really high, and especially like we have alcohol delivered to the room. Don't tell anybody, but we have alcohol delivered to the room, and the prices have gotten really high. So with Vacation Grocery Delivery, this is done by cast members, and they shop for the food-based stuff at Publix. So they're not upcharging you for any of the prices. You're getting Publix, a local Publix prices, and then they have a liquor store that they work in conjunction with that you place the order, and they also deliver that. And the prices were just great. It was not marked up. It wasn't like any extra cost. So yeah, I want
pretty cheap.
It was a lot cheaper this time than it's been in the past for us, put it that way. So this is Vacation Grocery Delivery Florida.com. If you want to go check them out and you are the kind of family that when you get to Disney World, or you're there staying in a house or something that you've rented, you check them out. You have your groceries delivered. You can get your libations delivered. So yeah, that is that's another company that we felt we needed to speak about tonight. And then the third and last, before we dive into our other stuff, is Happy Limo, happylimo.com. They are a car service that we have used in the past, and we decided to use them for both trips this time, from the airport to our resort and back to the airport, happylimo.com. And we just had a great, they were great. We had a great experience with Happy Limo. They don't just do, yep, you're right. Yeah, we're terrific. I agree. They do not just do transfers from the airport to Disney and back. They do transfers, cruise line transfers. We had Ruben met us at the airport and drove us to Bay Lake Tower. He was awesome and fun. He showed up at the baggage claim with our name on a sign. So we knew it was him. And then on the way back, we had Les, who was also great. He kept us entertained, so we weren't sad on the way back to the airport. But they have a wide array of services that they offer. As you can see here from the stock photos that I loaded from their website, this limo looks awesome, like a party on wheels. Serious looking drivers, some party people here. So they also have these van services. No, we didn't have all the guys and girls in the car. It was just us, but they have this van service. I mean, you want to roll up like your CIA, man, you hire these guys in these black vans, or you want to take it to the extreme. Look at these buses, the Happy Limo buses. That's some cool stuff right there. So check out happylimo.com. So what does that mean for you? That's DMagicWorld. That is Vacation Grocery Delivery, and that is Happy Limo. So, man, I went right through that stuff. I did. You would think I do this like for a living or something, like I get paid, but I don't. I just do it because I love everyone. That's why I'm here.
Honey. Thank you. Yeah, Happy Limo was great. They were really quick. We didn't have to wait at all. The cars were really clean and neat. Yeah. Comfortable. The guys were all super nice, and it was right. It was good.
Yeah, definitely.
I liked it.
Yeah, It was good. Both services worked well this trip. Our food was waiting for us. Our alcohol got delivered to Bell Services, and I went down to get it because you got to show an ID. You can't just be like a kid, some punk getting some alcohol. And then DMagicWorld is always the best. We love DMagicWorld. What do we want to talk about tonight? We have so many things to talk about. Our trip highlights. We met. Oh my God.
Before we get into the trip highlights,
tell us.
Did you hear that they're overhauling the DAS?
Yes. Yeah. But I didn't want to get into that tonight because that's a whole nother subject. I figured we'd save that. But
we'll leave it for another program.
Yeah, I think that that'll take up a lot of time. But there is an overhaul to the DAS that is official, that people can check out on the Disney website. Do not believe all of these TikToks and videos going on with some false information. I'd have to say, get your source right from Disney on this. But we utilize the DAS pass.
How it pans out too. I think now everybody's in like freak out mode, and everybody's, I heard this and I heard that, and
So I guess we'll gather some information, and we'll do it in a couple weeks. We'll give everyone the known facts of what we know.
I think what. Let's do our due diligence because Kim loves that word, due diligence, right? And we will revert back with real information, without panic and hysteria. But there's so many things to talk about. There's things in the news, and next week. We figured next week we'll talk about like food, dining, what we ate, and some reviews and stuff like that because we just can't cram it all into one show.
Yeah, I thought that maybe next week we would get into food only because there's so much. I took pictures of things and there's a lot to talk about and tell.
She took pictures,
so we can't jam it all into 1 hour. So we'll see you next week. So if you're a foodie, we'll be talking about that. This week we're going to be talking a little bit about Bay Lake Tower, and our meetups, and the benefits of Bay Lake, and the other ins and outs of our trip. So where should we?
This is from the court. This is from the courtyard at Bay Lake, and the inside by where the pool is, and all of the activities. There's a lot of activities there, by the way, guys. They have little putt golf. They have a pool table, a ping pong table, giant. Like checkers and stuff, and chess, and all these different things in the courtyard that lead to the pool. So this is the view looking up. I was trying to find our room. I told Kim to go on the balcony and wave, but she refused to. So I could tell you that this is the
right
view.
In the middle.
Yeah, this is the view from the sky bridge that connects Bay Lake to Contemporary Resort. So you could see how close to the action you are. Gives you a little bit of perspective.
So
it's tell me.
It's funny because when you're DVC, it's hard to pick because there's so many great resorts. I mean, we've done Animal Kingdom, which is beautiful and has its own. Every resort I feel like has its own thing about it that. Its own special quality that draws you in. Like I said, Animal Kingdom for me, the animals and the lobby and the African art and everything. The food. Poly is our home resort. That's where we love staying. You guys, everybody knows that. I feel like we've done Bay Lake before. It's actually Colton's favorite over the Poly.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. He's both times that we've stayed there. He's like, this is the best resort. He loves it. I don't
agree. Dog agrees.
The windows are open, so now he thinks he gets the work.
It's hard because when we got there, it's weird because there's things about Bay Lake. There's a reason why Bay Lake is our close running number 2 resort. Poly is always for us number 1, but there was times at Bay Lake where I was like, oh, I really miss the Poly. And then there was times when I was like, I love this resort. It kept changing like that. So it's a constant thing. It has so much to offer. And I really think that everybody should stay there once, just to get the full experience because it is a different experience than any of the other resorts. 100%. I mean, first of all,
yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, Bay Lake is right next to the Contemporary, and it's connected to the Contemporary. Bay Lake is only DVC, so there's no food in Bay Lake. It's got a tiny little lobby that smells delectable. It's got this calming aloe smell to it, and it's the best scent ever. And I wish I could bottle it, but someone bottled it, but it's not. But it's quiet there because it's just a tower. You walk into a small lobby. In the back is the lake and your pool area and everything, and then you just go up to your room, and it's a tower, so it's tall.
It's like a horseshoe shaped tower.
It's quiet, it's calm, and I love that about it. That when you need to go back home and you just want to kind of chill, you have that. But what makes that not boring is that beep, you hit the elevator, 5th floor, stop. There's the Skyway Bridge right to the Contemporary, right to the America's floor of the Contemporary, where everything is going on. And as soon as you enter the Contemporary, that echo and that Mary Blair artwork and the monorail coming through and Chef Mickey's, you see that all different people are coming into the Contemporary, and it's just such a hub of Disney. And for me, it's nostalgic because Polly's nostalgic too. But I stayed at the Contemporary actually first when I was little. So I remember that. And it still has that same feel to it. And you can't replace it. You can make as many new, beautiful towers as you want, but you'll never duplicate the Contemporary's, that hub feel that you're in the middle of everything.
Here, check out this short video I took of the monorail coming through the Contemporary while we were eating at Contempo Cafe. So you're literally eating and the monorail's just driving through the Contemporary. Like, it's so nostalgic. And like Kim said, it's a hub. There's so many people coming in there to dine at their dining establishments there. Chef Mickey's, Steakhouse 71, Contempo Cafe. There is a bar over there that's really cute that we had drinks with Jay and Chris at. The Outer Rim. The Outer Rim.
Stores. Yeah. I mean, there's so much to do there. I think a lot of people don't realize it. It's almost like you could go there for like a morning and spend the morning or an afternoon or night. If you have teenage kids, there's a great arcade. You can send them to the arcade. It's right across from the Outer Rim Bar, which is out there in the open, right next to the quick service.
Yeah, Contempo Cafe.
Contempo Cafe, which has really good food, and we'll get into the food next week. But so if you have teenagers, you can send them over to shop, or you can send them, there's something in that whole floor for everybody in the family to do something. Or you can walk out onto that deck in the back, in between the Contemporary and the Bay Lake Tower. There's not only just the bridge, the Skyway, but there's also a gorgeous deck back there that you can watch the fireworks from as well. So
you can literally stand underneath the monorail track and watch the monorail come over your head. And I mean, like, literally over your head. It is so cool. You can see the wheels like sideways and everything, and all the different colors underneath the monorails, like coming in and out. You're so close to it. But yeah, I mean,
you could go downstairs to Steakhouse 71. You could grab a drink or a lunch down there.
Cali Grill.
You have Cali Grill. You have Chef Mickey's. You have Contempo Cafe. You have the 3 stores, the arcade, and the deck and the monorail. So it's really fun to stay right next to that, but not be in it, because you would want some,
right. You get to go back to Bay Lake and have some peace and quiet. But the only food they order at Bay Lake is at the Cove Bar during the day. It shuts down at 8 p.m. at night. They don't have a big, huge food selection, just some basic grub, and drinks. But the rooms, I'm going to say this. The rooms at Bay Lake definitely need an upgrade, and they're going to get one that is scheduled. They definitely need that pull-down Murphy bed instead of the fold-out couch. They need a refresh to the rooms. They need some like charging ports. They just have regular plugs, and like the pool area needs some work as well. But other than that, it really is a beautiful resort that's quiet, but right next to the Contemporary and all the. If you want to be in the magic, just go hang out in the Contemporary, and like it just kind of soaks you, and you bathe in that magic, that nostalgia. That's how I could describe it. So, Becky, I saw you smiling. Tell me.
I don't. Oh, no. No.
That area of Contemporary where you walk in, it has that big like mural on the wall and stuff like that. It's really cool. There's a lot. There is a lot going on in that area.
I want to know like how the rooms in Contemporary. Are they? I wonder if they're louder. Like, you know what I mean? That there's so much going on there, and the monorail's going through.
Yeah,
we were looking.
We were talking about that,
and we noticed that there's rooms literally right above Chef Mickey's, right above it, and like
that's going on until 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Well, we're like, wow, you could just give your kids like a Mickey waffle and be like, go stand out there.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you're eating at Chef Mickey's, you dope.
You're at Chef Mickey's,
Yeah. Yeah.
I could sleep through anything, so it wouldn't matter to me. But...
No, it is kind of loud.
I will
say,
it
does go on, but
also, like we finally got a chance to really look at the grounds outside of not just Bay Lake, but the outside grounds besides the pool area outside of Bay Lake and around the back of the Contemporary. There's so much space back there. It's unbelievable. There's a ton of wide open, very calm space behind the convention center. Do you know where I'm talking about? Like if you go all the way down to
leads out to the marina.
I'm sorry. There's also a great coffee house downstairs by Steakhouse 71 on the other side that beats. So we were grabbing a nice coffee before we were getting on the bus, before we got into the parks, because Starbucks line was literally like an hour and a half in the park. So, but that whole back area. So if you're staying at Bay Lake, you have access to both the Bay Lake pool and the Contemporary's 2 pools. Now, I will say all 3 pools, in my opinion, are in need of some work.
Yeah.
The Contemporary pool was cute. It was nice. It was kind of cool. It had a hot tub in the middle, which I thought was neat for parents of little ones. If your kid's swimming, you know what I mean? And you could sit in the hot tub in the middle.
That is cool.
A 360-degree view of the
had
pool.
A lot of nooks and
kids in line.
Yeah. It had a lot of nooks and crannies though in that pool, and it only went up to 3 feet, and it was a big pool. And so we went there one day, and Colton was a little bit disappointed because he's 5 now. Like, I can't swim in 3 feet of water. But they also had a pool bar there, and they had some good looking food at that bar. But it lacked. I'm not complaining, but it did lack. All of their pools lacked the Polly's vibe. When we have a pool day at the Polynesian, it's you can have a drink and you can sit at the pool. They're a little bit less
they're a little less strict.
They're less strict because we usually go to the Oasis pool, which is their quiet pool. But it's not really a quiet pool, but they're a little bit less strict. You can sit there with your drink. Nobody says anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. You have service to your chairs if you want.
Yeah.
You want a waitress.
It needs a vibe. Whatever that vibe should be, it needs a vibe. When you're at the Poly pool day, you feel like you're in Hawaii or something. You know what I mean? Like, but when you're at the Bay Lake pool, you're just at a pool. I mean, of course, you could see other stuff, and you're in Disney, you know that, but there needs to be like a vibe to it. But
could you not drink at that pool? Were you not allowed to?
You can, but you couldn't even. Like, they're very strict about.
Like you can't sit at the pool,
near the pool
edge
with your drink.
And then
gotcha.
And at the same time, the lifeguards weren't very strict at all with the kids. So like, for instance, at that pool, if you're not feeling when some of the pools have like an announcer and a DJ and like kids games, which is great and adorable for the little kids. Our son is much older than that. So for me, I don't really kind of want to be here. That kind of gets on my nerves. And then also, people may have seen it, but I did post on Facebook my discontent for like the amount of little kids that were in the hot tub without a parent. So we're talking 6, 7 little ones from 4 years old to 7 or 8. in swimming, splashing, going under, like swimming in it, like it's a, it was
kind of looked like SpaghettiOs in the sauce. That's how many kids were in it.
Yeah, it was a little bit annoying. And normally, like if they're going to tell an adult that they can't drink at the edge of the pool, then they should also be kind of saying, hey, if you're unattended, it's dangerous.
Yeah, like a couple 3-year-olds with life vests and no parents do not belong in the hot tub.
No.
It's funny you said that, because when you were talking about how the Contemporary has the hot tub in the middle, which is nice because you see your kids at Animal Kingdom at our home resort. The hot tub is, you have to go up a flight of steps, and it's like behind where you go to the slide. So it's like you're nowhere near the pool.
It's the Kidani pool.
Yeah, and you go over there, and like there's these little kids in the hot tub, no parents, nothing. They don't even know where their kids are. Yeah, and it's like, what the heck?
That's scary. I can't imagine when Colton was little. There was never, even if he was in the pool and it was cold, I was in the pool. One of us was actually in the pool with him. We weren't even taking risks of watching. So so that kind of, but other than that, also with the Bay Lakes pool, they have this beautiful lake. The view is gorgeous. And the structure for the slide is very big and it's blocking everything. So the way that they situated it, it's just that structure for the slide blocks it. So when you're at the pool, you're just looking at the structure rather than being able to see like the lake, which is right there. So it's not the worst place ever. I know I'm complaining a lot about it. Just to me, as far as the Bay Lake and Contemporary, everything is, there's so many great things. That's probably my least favorite.
Yeah. I mean, this is the most, this is for me, this is what replaces any kind of negative.
Yeah,
is you're literally, and it's actually closer in person, but you're that close to Magic Kingdom, and it's a 5 to 7 minute walk from Bay Lake to Magic Kingdom with its own security on the path. And when you get to Magic Kingdom, you just scan in and go in. So, Jody so. That I can never get tired of. Hello to Mary Ann. How are you? Welcome to Disney Night Live. It's Wednesday. Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're back. We're better than ever, and we are catching up on our trip. But so let's see. Do I have any other video? No. So Kim, do you want to talk about do you want to talk about Top of the World Lounge and then everyone we ran into?
Sure. So while we're still on Bay Lake, and then you have the little footpath that takes you to Magic Kingdom. So I don't know if have you guys ever done that, Becky and Mike? The little walkway?
No, we have not.
Don,
you've done it.
The only walkway we did when we went to from our very, very first trip, we had our Chef Mickey's reservation, and they told us the best way to get there would be to go to Magic Kingdom and then walk over. And we did walk over to Contemporary from there, but that was the one and only time that we did it.
Yeah, so, Kim went live while we were there to kind of show it,
I saw that,
Yeah, it's a nice, easy walk. I mean, and that's just another part of the magic that you can't get at any other resort, even the monorail resorts. I mean, we stay at the Poly, but we're not a hop, skip, and a jump away from Magic Kingdom. We're close, yes, but this is, so if you have Park Hopper Pass, this is a great, if you want to run around a lot, like if you were doing a short stay, Bay Lake is a great place to stay because you could, if you only had a couple nights, for instance, and you wanted to do the fireworks, you could just run over there. If you wanted to shop, you just
and we did.
And I will tell you, one of the best parts about the little walkway is that they check you. There's this
that's what I said. They have their own security
on the walk. So which takes 2 seconds because no one's there. It's very quiet. It's usually not crowded. So then once you get into Magic Kingdom, you don't have to do any more. You just head on in. You just badge in and head on in. So another it's just got a convenience about it that is really neat. And like I said, you have 3 or 4 choices for fireworks every single night. You can either run over to Magic Kingdom and watch them in person. I mean, how great would that be? Like to just say, oh, it's late and I might not have a spot, but I'm just going to run into the entrance to watch them right there, or watch them from the footpath, watch them from Contemporary, or you can even watch them from some of the floors. But anyway, and then
I digress.
Fifth option for watching fireworks, and another reason for staying at Bay Lake, but you have to be DVC, is the Top of the World Lounge, which is now called the Villain's Lair. So on the very tippity top of Bay Lake is a lounge on the 16th floor. It's not open during the day. You can't even hit the elevator. It's one of those fancy schmancy exclusive, elevator floors. And so you can go up there any night if you're a DVC member staying anywhere on property. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to be staying there. It's first.
It doesn't have to be staying on property.
It's first come, first serve, but you are allowed to invite guests. We were going to have a guest come, but it didn't work out that night. You can eat up there. So they re-themed it from the Top of the World Lounge to Villain's Lair. It's cute. David will show some pictures. It's not overly themed, but
it's very subtle.
It's pretty fancy looking, and then you have these gorgeous views of the whole kingdom, and it's unbelievable. It's beautiful.
I'll show you. We have some short clip videos here that we'll just show now, and some photos.
Yeah.
So that is just walking in, obviously.
That's awesome.
There you go. Sorry, some of us were. Don, I think you have to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. There you go. So that is that's outside, right? And then I want to show. I'm just going in order here. I want to make sure that I'm in order of my photos and videos.
Jody Rice, the poly is always numero uno. Always.
Yeah. The view is spectacular.
She wanted to know if we were
I know
the poly. Bay Lake is a close running. Like I said, it's a close number 2, but the poly is my heart.
Here, check out this this view I took of Happily Ever After from outside on the viewing deck.
Proximity to the castle. Did anybody notice that?
Can you see the castle from there?
Yeah. You see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can.
That's nice because you get the fireworks without the crowd.
Yeah, you're literally so. And this is so. Top of the World Lounge, a Villain's Lair, does several things. On Fridays and Fridays only is a dessert party. You have to, in order to get into Villain's Lair on a Friday, you have to buy into the dessert party, which I think is like $89 a person. So all the desserts and alcoholic beverages are included in that. The rest of the days, there's two ways you can get up there. You could just go up, first come, first serve. Again, you have to be DVC staying on property, or they have something called the Wicked Wine Down, which I think is $55 a person. And with that, you get an alcoholic beverage, an appetizer, and the dessert, which is their 7-layer cake. So
7-layer cake.
7-layer. So those are the other ways you can get up there. We did a first come, first serve. We went up. They said go up, look for availability. They said we'll make room. That there's nothing. Not everything's reserved for the Wicked Wine Down. And got a nice table with a couple chairs and a couch. So those are the ways you can actually access it. And then we experienced, here's some goofball taking photos of himself watching the fireworks too.
That's a little back room that they had, a little private room, which nobody was using, but you know.
Right, with some pictures, some clips of villains.
That drink was delicious. The food, we didn't have any of the food. We did have the 7-layer cake, which so far is my favorite dessert on Disney property. That cake was unbelievable. This drink was unbelievable, and everybody who had an appetizer, me and David peeped at. It
all looked really good.
They have a big Bavarian pretzel, really nice one. They have pork sliders. They have some kind of shrimp dish. They have a charcuterie, which someone was eating, which looked nice.
That's the cake.
7-layer cake, which had like vanilla cake, chocolate cake, whipped cream. Then it had almost like this hazelnut crunchy layer in it that was unbelievable.
7 layers.
Yeah, it was good. It was huge. The piece was like huge. Even Colton.
What's really funny is they don't make any of the food in Top of the World Lounge, so it comes from Steakhouse 71. Most of it, some of it's prepared like in the back, but the food comes in a dumbwaiter. So there's all these different like little doors that the wait staff has to go in and out of to like access alcohol, to make beverages and to like get the food. It's really funny. So like that cake literally comes up like a dumbwaiter from Steakhouse 71 to get served.
We didn't get the cake for a while, and the waitress was really sweet, and she's like, I don't know what's going on. She's like, I put a ticket down. She's like, but it has to go down the dumbwaiter. She's like, and then back up, and it just still said cake. So I guess it has to go all the way down and then like across wherever to get because think about how. Well, actually, no, because Bay Lake Tower is not even in the Contemporary. So Bay Lake Tower.
You have to go next door, right? It goes down and then across.
The 16th floor, but it was a really nice experience. It's fancy up there. It's really pretty. It's well worth trying it out, even if you just get in for an hour and grab a drink and the cake or a drink. Happy.
You want to see the video of the menu?
Yeah, you can show that. Hello, this is Kim, and I am reporting from the Villain's Lair, Top of the World Lounge at Bay Lake Tower. This is on the 16th floor. You have to be a DVC member to get in. In this menu, you have crafted concoctions, wicked wines, bubbling brews, and fiendish fare.
Literally said that you were reporting. You're a reporter.
I'm taking it seriously.
This is Kim reporting. That made me laugh. I'm sorry. I was like, you are not a reporter. Oh my God, how funny. I lost it there for a second. Thank God that video was wrong.
I didn't even mean to send you that video because it didn't come out as good as I didn't get the food options. This is the next.
It's like Stormfield.
They also have a hummus. There was a lot of nice little selections. That's all. I mean, you can make it.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's neat, and you can actually bring. There was some debate on whether or not you can bring guest stuff, but you can bring guest stuff. You just have to tell the desk. The best thing to do is like when Don and Marie came, we put them on our reservation so they can come through security and not have an issue, and they can park. And then we brought them over to the pool. They didn't go in, but they sat with us. And then, we went to dinner.
They were strict though. I will say, like, we got there about 6:30. So no one was really there, only a couple people. So if you get there about 6:37, you're fine. Then I noticed there was a line, but when we got up there, we had to show DVC membership and ID. And I was like, geez, like it's a little much. And no one was in there, like it was empty. And then the only thing that I didn't really like is that, if you're a DVC member, like you should be able to just wander. To me, you should just be able to wander in there. And they had like part of it blocked off. And this is, typical Disney. Part of it was blocked off. And as soon as the fireworks were about to come on, the hostess went outside and like blocked it off and closed the gate and was standing there. And no one was even going over there to like one section so that the people that were there for the wind down party or the dessert party had their own special private viewing. But the silly thing was, all of the views were good. Like there was so much room up there.
Same views. They're just roping it off to make sure you have a spot. But
the actual restaurant's like this big and the viewing area is like this big.
Right.
So they're never going to overdo how much room there is outside. And I thought, if you have to be a DVC to even get into one of those parties, everybody should.
That should be enough.
Yeah.
Right.
They're trying to get money out of you by forcing you to do one of these overpriced parties. And the prefix dining is what kind of annoyed me this trip. Was that a lot of places that I used to like to go to turned into prefix dining where you have to get a dessert, appetizer and this and that. And we'll get into that.
We'll talk about it next week because we canceled a bunch of reservations actually.
Yeah, because we'd spend $400 to go to one restaurant. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I mean, Becky, you even said it like
we did the same thing.
I had no idea that 220 was prefixed. I mean, even though you had talked about it, but I think I was in school when you guys were messaging. But anyway.
So this is what I'll say about Top of the World Lounge. Before it was a villain's lair, you just went up there, right? And I get they kind of have to fill seats and they're trying to make money because they don't want it to sit empty. I get that. But no, we did not have the dining plan. We did not get that. I don't think that it should depend on whether or not they have availability based on how many people bought into the Wicked Wind Down for you to get in. Me buying direct and paying the amount of money I paid for DVC should allow me to walk through that door if there's an open seat and sit down. And that why are we roping off a certain section up there? Like, so those are the things that kind of bother me. Like that should be included with your dues, right? Or not dues, but that's one of the perks. So they did let us in, but they had to check for availability, and you're roping off a certain section to make those people more comfortable. Like I get like Fridays is just for desserts. That's great. That's the one night you want to do, but T9 says, I'm going to pay that to go to the restaurant because Ed wants Space 220 really bad. My travel agent is going to make I will definitely help you secure that reservation, Tina. Now, I would have loved to have seen Space 220, but I couldn't justify like Colton maybe getting a hamburger for.
Maybe have a hamburger for that was like
or like Becky, you said you're kind of a picky eater, right? Like so,
yeah.
When you're gonna get pasta with butter for that,
right?
Like, they're taking things off of menus and limiting the menus, but then doing these prefix things, and for me, it doesn't work. Cali Grill again, we canceled. We'll talk about that next week, but T9 is Jody Ray says, I'm so excited. I'm going to Memorial Day weekend Flower and Gardens on my bucket list. Now, I will say, if you have the dining plan and you have the good dining plan, yes, eat at these locations because that's what you're paying for the dining plan for, right? So you'll get in there with your credits and you can have the most expensive thing on the meal. So it doesn't. So.
But we did have some great food, and we'll talk about it next week. It didn't, we just made decisions and choices along the way of what we thought would be best. And
Kim made decisions, and I agreed.
We always book. The reason why I cancel is because we always book just in case, and then you kind of have to regroup and say, how's our trip going? What are we in the mood for? What do we want to do today? Do we want to spend 3 hours going to one location, or are we having fun right here?
Well, that's the thing too. If you're going to Chef Mickey's, be known that you're sitting there for 2.5, 3 hours. It's an event. So if you want to take that much of your park day or your day away, then cool. But you need to know these things going into it. One of the other things we did a lot on this trip, I was saying earlier to Becky and Mike and Don before we went live, the only day we did not meet up with friends or co-host friends was the last full day Friday, we went to Epcot, just the three of us. Other than that, we literally met people every day of our trip, and it was awesome because I never thought when we started this group and this show that that's what it would evolve to. Now, some of these people are people I was friends with like before any of that, like I worked with, but you know, most of our Ohana that we met up with are people that we met because of Disney Community, which was really cool. Especially for people to take their time out to come to see us. You know what I mean? Like, that's really nice. Like, so, oh, they don't, oh my goodness. I didn't know that. Yeah. So then I'm sorry I said that. Let's see. The first day we got there was the 28th. On the 29th, we went to Magic Kingdom, but then we hung out with Don and Marie at the pool at Bay Lake Tower, and we had dinner at Steakhouse 71. And here is a photo of this beautiful group with Disney Don and the fabulous Miss Marie, Colton, Kim, and myself. So that was a lot of fun. We had a good meal. Again, I was a little bit inebriated. I apologize. That was a bit. I went right to the room.
I wanted to ask, how did you guys? What did you think about the crowds? I mean, I know you're a school teacher, Kim, so you have to go when the school's out. Did you feel was more crowded this year than last year when we got together?
The first 2 days we were there was
just a little shocked
before Easter, and we were like, wow, it's really quiet. It was really nice. It was surprisingly quiet, and we were like, wow, this maybe people were on break a week before this or something. I mean, we're used to going on spring break and it being busy, and then all of a sudden we spoke too soon because
that Saturday, I think it was.
Bam! It was like crazy. Like, I mean, the lines just to get a coffee at Starbucks in the park or a good donut or, you know, one of your favorite things was, it was crazy. Yeah.
It was challenging. The wait times were up there, Don. Like, I was checking wait times just for fun, like earlier in the morning, like on a bus or something. And it's not anything I don't think we've ever dealt with because we go every spring break, but it definitely was a huge shift from those first couple of days to that week.
This year, your spring break seemed to correspond with Easter break.
Yeah.
So you got a double whammy.
Yeah, it was crowded. Now we can manage it, but I think if you're new to Disney World and not used to it, you're going to be like, "Oh my God, what's going on here?" But I think if you know what you're doing and you can navigate, then you're all right.
We did some rope dropping or some, a couple days we just got up really early and we went out early.
Yeah.
But that one time we did for Hollywood Studios, and we were really tired that day because we had gotten home late the night before, but we were like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to get up early, and Colton was ready and I was ready, and we all got to Hollywood Studios. And David, for some reason, got scanned every time at security.
I get pulled
over. So this was the one day that we didn't want him to get pulled over, because we wanted to get in and run to an attraction. So, and then we also have the DAS, but you can DAS once you get in the park. So David was like, okay, as soon as we get in, you DAS Rise, and we were going to run to Mickey and Minnie, right? So we had this whole plan. Well, he got pulled over, and it was taking forever. There was
one security person at the table.
It was so finally now it was like rope drop was it was done. Like everybody's already running through the park. You feel like that pressure, like we did this for nothing. We got up for nothing. So David was like, Kim, just go with Colton and go right to Mickey and Minnie and I'll meet you there. So I was like, okay, great. And DAS Rise. So I go on my phone, and since David wasn't scanned into the park yet, I forgot we couldn't even DAS anything until our whole party was there. So it ended up fine. David was like irate. He was just
asked them if I was happy about it
because it took him like a half an hour. Yeah. But we ended up jumping off the line on Mickey and Minnie. We were already there, so we did get into that right away. And then I think we were like got onto.
What is in your bag that they keep pulling you over?
So here's what I have: a portable charger and a sunglass case with a magnet that keeps it closed. But they kept telling me to walk through with that stuff out, right, and the bag. But then I did it, and at Hollywood Studios now they stopped me, and it took all this time. And the guy's saying, "Well, it's because of these things." And he goes, "I'm looking at the camera, and you walked in like this." And he's like, "You should leave the bag on your shoulder, but hold the other stuff out, or not the bag in the same hand as the other stuff." I said, "This is getting way too confusing, man." I'm like,
everything.
Hold one behind your back, one above your head, and hop across the line on one foot.
That's what I said. I said, "You want me to like walk in on one leg like Karate Kid and hop through and like?" I get there needs to be security, but the woman literally before at Grand Floridian at security said, "Do it this way and you won't get stopped." And I literally did that the next morning and got stopped. So it is.
And Rowan and I both have our own like portable chargers, and I never get pulled. Never.
It's the eyeglass. Yeah, it's exactly.
It's called getting pulled over. Yeah, David. It was like every time I was like, "What is going on?" And I will say this. I mean, no disrespect at all. The in general, 85%, 95% of the cast members are amazing. I did notice on this trip, though. I don't know if it was just this trip, if it was just coincidence, but little bit snarky from
some folks are snarky,
with the cast members. Yeah, a little bit more. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully that changes. It could have just been this trip, just a coincidence. But
no, I've been hearing two different things with people with attitudes, as well as the one thing I can confirm is that garbages are overflowing. They're definitely not cleaning up the parks and the bathrooms and the restrooms as fast as they used to. And then some of the cast members definitely had attitudes, especially when trying to discuss with the service people around the parks for DIS. Like,
yeah,
I get if I'm going to ask you a question and you're going to tell me no, but the way they're doing it, they seem very aggravated. Actually, my friend Scott, who was there with his family, his daughter has the DAS, and he went to ask a question, and the cast member, and he reported the cast member. The cast member literally said, "People with the DAS annoy me like you," and then shamed the daughter and said, "You go stand over there and talk to somebody else because I don't have the patience for it." And they were sent to somebody else and sat and waited. So he complained, and they offered him a bunch of stuff, and he said no. He said that's not the point. But yeah, so they seem to be getting really aggravated with it, and maybe they knew the change.
I'd have a formal complaint written for sure.
Yeah, it would have been right. It would have been really bad. So
I have a feeling that it's possible that the DAS has been being once again majorly abused, because
for sure.
Everybody that when we did have anything that we had to talk to anybody about with the DAS, they almost had this attitude like, well, you should be lucky that you even have this.
I think they know the changes are coming. I'm being honest.
Where it's and Colton is 15 now. He looks like a man. He's 5'9". He's not a cute little kid anymore that you can tell has autism, and that's fine. I get that. That's life. But I think that the reason why they changed it is probably because people have been abusing it, and the cast members are at that point where maybe they don't know who's using it for a real reason and who's not, or whatever. And it's showing.
I think that's but even some like
it's not working the way that it's going right now, because they're not.
Yeah.
One
of the days I went to the desk at Bay Lake Towers, and I had to do something there, and then I asked the cast member behind the desk. I said, whenever we come, they never have the DVC Magic Band slides. I said, "You guys happen to have any?" He literally didn't even respond. Like, he didn't say yes or no. He looked behind the counter, but never gave me a response. And then I just went in and finished what I had to do and walked away. But he just kind of seemed annoyed by it. Like, they're I don't know, maybe they are getting crapped on a lot, the cast members. Like, people are less patient, but yeah.
We did have one experience which I thought was really odd because we were told to go over to him, and it was it was the DVC rep that's in our resort.
Right.
And he was sitting there by himself. Nobody was around him, and he was like playing his phone. And we walked up because we were told to go over. We actually got an email saying like that they had a free gift for us, being that this was our first, our home, our welcome home trip. And it was like he was annoyed that we were getting him off of his game or something. He was like an older gentleman, and he was like, "Well, like what can I help you with?" Like we're like, we were actually thinking about talking to him about adding points on. You know what I mean? So there's a legit reason we went over to talk, other than obviously the gift. But it was just like it almost seemed like he didn't want to even really take the time out to talk to us. You know,
until he heard that we were considering adding points on. Then all of a sudden, we had his full attention.
His ears,
because he probably gets commission for it. So
what wasn't him?
I could tell you that the DVC people over sitting in the Contemporary right outside of Chef Mickey's in that main area, I saw some great interactions, like just like handing out stickers to kids waiting for their breakfast or whatever at Chef Mickey's and like interacting. They were really nice, and so was. Where else did I see like DVC? But like this guy was a regular cast member behind the desk at Bay Lake. But yeah, so I think it just depends. But most of their job is spent interacting with people and handing out stickers and kind of just wasting time until somebody does want to discuss like DVC, you know?
Right.
But yeah, that can actually, Grand Floridian, outside of Grand Floridian Cafe, there's a DVC person there. And I really saw like several occasions that person taking time to discuss with people, and it was nice. So
yeah,
we were walking through the boardwalk one time, and there were two gentlemen at the DVC kiosk there, and he looks up and says, "Oh, by the way, are you DVC members?" And we said, "Well, yes." Well, come on over. And he started giving us like here's a backpack. Now put all this stuff. I'm going to give you a bunch of stuff in this backpack.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Who's your agent? And it's like, well, it used to be this guy, but I don't think he's with the company. And they were, you're an orphan. That's okay.
So here you go.
Next thing you know, I have a new agent. He gives me his business card, introduces himself, gives me a whole bunch of more stuff.
Yeah.
So
I want
that's nice.
Stopped us.
Yeah, I got like an option for like a reprint of like a penciled picture. I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, it was like Riviera. I was like, we have one of those.
It was Riviera. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, I said I have one of those. I go, I just want the Magic Band slide. I go, I paid $35,000, and all I want is the rubber slide that goes over my Magic Band.
All right.
Never get one. Yeah, and the guy's like, I'm sorry, they're always out. Like as soon as they come in, I'm like, I know, but just send me freaking rubber band slide.
I know,
right?
They should just send it, But
yeah, well, oh my God, we're at 9:00. Let's run through this real fast. We met up with Skipper J. There's Skipper J and Kim. They came over to Bay Lake Tower, and we spent time with Skipper J, Chris, myself, Kim, and Colton. We had fun. God bless you, Don. We spent time over by the pool. We walked over to Contemporary, and then we sat down at Outer Rim and had some drinks.
And then we saw a rocket.
Oh yeah, a rocket launch. The waitress was so sweet. Call it whatever you want.
No, because somebody scolded me.
Scott Dieter did, but you know what? We're not like
I don't want to call it the wrong thing. Is it a rocket or what was it, Donald?
It wasn't a shuttle. It was a
rocket.
The shuttle, right?
Yeah.
No, the shuttle blew up, so that's not it.
Yeah, it's a rocket.
It's a rocket.
Let's just call it a rocket.
Okay.
It's Sunny Eclipse
that shoots into the air. Okay, I don't know.
We did, but the waitress told them, and they watched it out the window. It was, I was.
Yeah, she was like, look, and I'm like, I just figured it was fireworks or something, and she's like, that's a rocket. I was like, oh, so it was a bonus. That was cool. Yeah.
It's one of those things that Wile E. Coyote runs out lights and it goes up, right?
Yeah. Let's see if this video works here.
You are here on those perches with Natalie and Ashley. For you to get an up-close look, just like so, it looks like Mulan is out there.
That's our co-host and friend, Animal Kingdom, Aaron, and he we met him several times. So we watched the show, and then he came out and hung out with us. And here he is performing in front of the Tree of Life. He is so sweet. We want to Aaron.
We could literally hang out with him all day long. He was such a sweetheart.
Easily.
Yeah. Kim's like
really easy to talk to.
Aaron.
Yeah.
I want to feed him and make him food. And
yeah. He had dinner with us at Tiffin's on Easter. This was Easter. And here's Colton, myself, and Aaron. And what's really funny is, so we also met up with Morgan from the Disney Nerds and the Disney Nerds podcast. And there she is.
Yeah, we spent the day with her and her mom.
And her mom at Animal Kingdom. But I went live on Facebook in the group, and Aaron got done doing one of his shows and literally said, "Oh, they're over by the giant lizard, you know, when you do the walk through the jungle treks," and just like comes over and finds us from the live video. But then like Kim's looking out to see the bats.
So I was looking at the giant bat. There's a giant flying bat in the jungle.
Fox. The fox.
I was sticking my whole head out of the little pillars there to see the bat, and like you have to turn your head over like this, and I'm like, look, I see it. I don't know who I was talking to. I was talking to nobody, whoever was next to me, and then I hear this man's voice in my ear go, "What do you see?" And I was like, I didn't even think, I was just talking to the person next to me. I'm like, oh, there's a giant bat and this and that. And then I was like, he said something else, and I'm like, why am I talking to the person? Why are they that close to me? And then I was like, Aaron.
Yeah, he was so cute. So yeah, he joined us and we walked around the jungle trek with him, and he gave us like, you know, some like inside info and stuff, or like more info you would know on your own, right, about the animals. Yeah, you should see
here down a pie. He was like, I gotta go back to work. Bye. And then he just goes through like a bush. And we're like, Aaron, what's behind there? And then we looked behind the bush, and you could see a little walking path, and you could see other cast members. And it's funny because, you know, they hide the cast members like that. And he's like, yeah, he's like, that's where we have to go. And there was no path or anything. It was literally like bushes and like dirt.
Yeah.
And then Aaron just like
disappeared like a ninja.
He was like a Yeti or something, right? Yeah, he was just like was there, and then he was gone. But
ninja skills.
And so Morgan and her mom were there, and we met up with them as well. So again, that was fun. She gave us a bunch of Disney nerd swag, which is really cool. We also met up with, why did some of these photos disappear? Let's see. We met up with our friend John Sakari, who is also bigfatpanda.com in the Disney Underground. And we spent the better part of the day at Epcot with him until we wore him out and he had to go. I mean, he was literally like, I can't walk anymore. So we had a great time because, of course, Kim and John are Scentsy folks. And they took photos over in the Scentsy fragrance area. Which was really funny because, you know, they're just there together in this area. And
then he was going to buy, for the first time ever since he's selling these flowers that we make, these scented flowers in Epcot. It's the only thing that they sell there, like not through a consultant. And John was like, oh, this smells really good. I think I'm going to get one. I was like, I will not let you buy one.
Buy it straight from here. Yeah.
The cast member was looking at me. I really want one. I'm like, I will not let you buy one here.
Yeah, we did some rides together. We hung out. We rode Remy together, and it was fun because Colton literally was like, I want one of those Remy things that sits on my shoulder. And Kim and I were like, what? So he bought it and he wore it for a while. And here's John pointing at it on Colton's shoulder.
Yeah, they get along really well.
They do.
Get along really well, and he really gets him.
Yeah,
Colton really loved to have that, to do that. It's been a couple years now that we've spent time with him.
With Don and Marie, like Don and Marie, he's really good with them. They get him and John, and even like meeting Aaron. Aaron was like, Colton, are you a hugger or a handshaker? And Colton like looked at him. I'm like, he's cool with hugging. He goes, yeah, hugger. And you know what I mean? They hugged, and it's just funny because like, I guess everybody knows how to approach Colton, you know, because they know about him so much. But it's great that spending time with people who get him. You know, and I'm sure Becky and Mike, you
He
guys
loves
experience
it
that as well. Like when,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's spoiled because he's like, who's gonna hang out with us now?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, he's like, who's hanging out with us today? Oh, is Don and Marie coming to the pool?
Yeah, right.
Like,
what are we gonna see?
We don't have any friends at home like that. We have all Florida friends.
Kevin Moore, hello to you. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Brown's the same way too. When we went last time, he was like, "Are we seeing somebody again today?" And then he wanted to know so badly if he was going to get to see you guys in Colton this trip, and I was like, "No, buddy, not this trip."
I still say Marie. You know, when Marie went on the Rise of Resistance with your son,
with Rowan.
Yeah, I thought that was fantastic.
It was great, and I commend her so much for doing this. She was such a trooper for letting. I mean, he's so tall.
I know, but I think Marie loved it.
Well, I really did appreciate it.
No, it's just a human thing to do.
Right. He's so much bigger than her too, and he was just like
so scared. He's like, hold on.
It was great. It really was.
You know what's crazy though? You know, and the Disney nerds do it every year. They have several meetups, and like they got a lot of people that like are part of their show and a part of their podcast that meet up, and I think we're getting closer to closer. Like, so we're having like solo meetups or little meetups. Yeah. We're getting closer to the point, and it's crazy to think about it. Like, we're gonna actually eventually do that and have a meetup, I think. Yeah. So, Liz, Ed is. We have to hang out with any axe murderers. We are not axe murderers. We did also. So I used to work with my friend Scott Feldmar. We worked together years ago. He's a big Disney fan, and so is his family. They go almost every year as well. Actually, they did several years ago. They did the golf cart ride around the Fort Wilderness campgrounds on Halloween for us when we were live.
Oh, that's sweet.
So we met up with him, his wife Colleen, and daughters Peyton and Mackenzie, and that was a lot of fun. So we took a photo here on Main Street, and we had a bunch of fun. You know, with them as well. And we also met up with Valerie and James Toger and their family, at Epcot when we were with Panda, but we didn't take a picture with them, I noticed.
Yeah, you know what? It was because it was a lot because we were still there with John, and then like all of our kids were all having different issues, and like
so several kids have special needs, and you know, Colton and everybody was kind of like doing their own thing, and we were just having some drinks and chatting, but
it's hard to meet up too because you know it's Disney, so like everybody knows how hard it is to get like people on rides and people into reservations, and you know. But we always sneak Don and Marie into Steakhouse 71. We usually just have a reservation for 3.
Yeah, we just beg them over there at the desk.
Sorry, the reservation's supposed to be for 5.
Yeah, I feel bad because just before we left, I booked a trip actually for this guy named David as well, David Todd, who we lived behind growing up, and we always played together with his siblings and my siblings, and our, you know, the street that joined that where the houses were, and he was there at the same time. I never even got to see him in person. Like after 45 years, it would, you know, like we were just going and running into people and meeting people, and so. We actually could have met up with more people if we had more time. But it was a great trip. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Real quick, definitely one of the highlights.
We missed the earthquake. We
missed
here, and
rain, wind, snow, and an earthquake. But we did Launch Bay, which was a lot of fun. So if anybody out there is watching, or you listening later on when it becomes a podcast, if you are a Disney Visa Chase card holder, there is at the Launch Bay and several other places at Disney World a separate location for you to go, separate line. And I asked the cast member, now they will not tell you who you're going to meet, but she told me it's not BB-8. So I knew it was going to be Chewie or Darth Vader. And so I was like, Kim, let's get out of the line you're in and let's go over here to this line. And we had no wait. And it was none other but Vader, Lord Vader.
Oh,
yeah, it was fun.
I'd lose my mind.
It was Mike. He comes. Huh? Did you guys see him?
What, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yes, we did.
Or
yes, I promise you we did.
Kylo Ren, or
I thought we just met Kylo. I thought we just met Kylo Ren.
We went Kylo our first trip, and then we had
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader the second time.
We also did photo opportunities with lightsabers, which was a lot of fun. They let you do all these different poses and stuff. But what's hilarious about Vader is
he's scary.
You go in to meet him.
Kylo's scary too. He's super tall and he's super intimidating.
Yeah. And
this guy was huge.
We did Kylo, Mike, when Colton was little, and Colton was a little bit scared. But I'm going to tell you something. We were online for Vader, and I didn't know that he was going to come out to us. I thought we were waiting for the cast member to say, okay, go around the corner. And then all of a sudden he just appeared, and it took me. I was like,
you hear his breathing before he shows up, and he comes around the corner and stares at you. And you're like,
I was like, oh my God. And then he was like kind of scaring Colton. And then, and then we didn't know what to do because we took a couple pictures, and then I was like, can we hug him? And then the cast members I was like, can we get a hug or something? And the cast members like, Lord Vader shows no emotion.
No emotion.
Like, okay. Yeah. So we just did chokehold pictures,
but I'm shocked because we did the chokehold, and Kim, you did not send me the chokehold photo because when we were done, Kim literally said, have you been practicing that chokehold? Because it's really well, and I'm like, you have no idea how long I've been practicing that chokehold. Think about when you watch and Vader reaches out and he's force choking somebody, and I was just like, I bodied my inner Vader, but
Chewie is so much fun. I mean, if you have not gone to see Chewbacca, you've got to. I asked Chewbacca if he wanted to come live with us
and have Italian food, and he literally.
And I have plenty of room for you, and we make a lot of Italian food.
He did this. He did capiche, with his hands. Kim's like, "Do you want to come with food and meatballs?" He did like this. Hilarious.
He's ready.
He was ready to come home with us. We could go on and on and on, but we've run over tonight.
My goodness.
Yeah, so Kim, you sure can talk. I know. Next week we'll talk about more stuff. We'll talk about the foods and the reviews and what we canceled and what we did. We can talk about an over-under on how many sweatshirts Kim bought. It might shock you to know how many that she did or did not purchase. So I want to remind everybody to listen to DMagicWorld.com, to also check out Happy Limo for any car service you might need in the Florida area. And also our friends over at the grocery delivery Florida service, Vacation Grocery Delivery. Please check them out as well. So T9, yes, you can come home with us. We will feed you Italian food and other stuff.
T9 can cook, so she can come here and we could.
Thank you so much, Lily. We missed everybody too. We took a little time off, but we're glad to be back, and we'll be back next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Tell your friends, tell your foes. I think we're gonna do our outro here. Let me find that for you. And I hope everybody has a great night.
Week.
We'll see you next
Have a great night.
Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday.